crib psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Got your stacks up, but you ain't got no rings, yeah. Got my stacks up, I'm living out my dreams, yeah. Stretch this condo, I can fit a limousine, yeah. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic. This be my tunnel music. Like cut that confetti, I'm running through it. Like play that whole lane, I'm running through it. And if they run at me, let my youngins do it. I just married, I'm honeymooning. I got hot on my own and ain't nothing coolin'. I don't punch in no clock, I sun and moon and I'm shot, bullet, proven, let it go. Wake up, shot calling. Pay what I bought it. New crib psychotic. I'm so iconic. Fly down to see the islands. She ain't even bring a wallet. They don't get it, but I got it. I'm so iconic. Got your stacks up, but you ain't got no rings, yeah. Got my stacks up, I'm living out my dreams, yeah. Stretch this condo, I can fit a limousine, yeah. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic. I'm so iconic. Yeah, I'm so iconic. Yeah, they don't get it, but I got it. Ain't that ironic? I'm so iconic.
I've been shooting from a cannon. Mid-flight, hit every side, I ain't landing. Handles like a vandal at night, you can't grab it. Fire underneath my hood is outstanding.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us roughly midway between Boston and Providence. Everybody knows it as Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now a run. Here's the first-round pick from April's draft. And let me tell you, that wasn't as easy as it looked. Dancing away and moving forward for 6 yards.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Here's Burrow. Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked up by the Michigan man, Jabril Peppers. And the Patriots are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. That'll give them 8 that time. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Straight ahead, here's Nwangu. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. The Patriots at 7-5 now of the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
Yeah, he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. You talk about this Bengals defense. They come into this one ranked number 17, so just starting the bottom half of the league against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Ready.
They'll throw with May. Hunter Henry brings it in. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 35. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Forced out to his left. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll set up the screen for Nwangu. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Kene Nwangu with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Patriots use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you get
over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down. Spectacular catch turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3-and-out. Open man right side is his running back. It's complete downfield. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A big play there. 44 yards. And the Bengals are an extra point away from drawing level. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Go! Go!
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. To the air, May. Short pass caught by Henry. And Henry's going to pick up a Patriots first down as the tackle made at the 31-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Up the middle, Nwangu. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Back to Nwangu again on first down. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw, it's May. Now throw right side, taken in by the tight end, Gray. And the Patriots are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up.
Touchdown! Kendrick Bourne. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots have taken the lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Now they can't bring him down. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Now we're going to get a timeout here for an injured player, and that's Jamar Chase, who is in some obvious discomfort right now. They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. But you look at this Patriots defense. They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And stopping the run, that's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out, being able to play it understand what you have to get done, and finally stop some people, put them on the ground.
And it's fielded at the 34. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Patriots take over. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
On the toss, here's Nwangu. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. And the stop made by Cam Taylor-Britt. From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 6. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Here's May. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. From the gun on 3rd down, it's May. That is caught. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
He finds Douglas complete. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here we go, set. Roll, roll, roll. 60 Bison, 60 Bison.
On the give is Nwangu. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Ready, ready.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here.
Go.
Looking to throw. May. This one to Bourne out on the left side. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards. This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and goal. Throwing here is May. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. Marvin Mims, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And it's now 21-7. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
On 2, ready?
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Burrow looking to pass. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. Sly on for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Bengals drive about to get going. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now it's Burrow. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This pass complete to Higgins. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Here we go.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. Burrow will throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field.
Here we go.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off.
Gun. Shot. Shot.
Hands it off out of the gun. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
Here we go.
Second down in the yard.
Shot.
Now Burrow. And he'll spot Higgins open left side. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Here we go.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure.
11,
We all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Shot.
Now it's Burrow. Over the middle, he finds Higgins. And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
11 MT tape. Shot.
They'll try to run this one in. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into that deficit. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now a 2nd and 6. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't, Who's going to score the most points in this game? Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Here we go.
This is 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
They're passing here. Joe Burrow. Over the middle, complete. That's Ross. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter.
Gun. Dot.
They'll look to throw now on first down. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right.
Dot.
From midfield now, Burrow. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
Here we go.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Let's get set. Dot.
Final play of the half for Burrow and company. Looking downfield for Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
New England with a first down as they begin the drive.
And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better, and I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. May now off the bootleg.
And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
Go.
They're going to look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
To about the 48-yard line.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd down at 7.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70. Ready?
Handoff here to Nwangu. And across midfield he goes and into Bengal territory. 51 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll go right back to Nwangu. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, May with it. Oh, a first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. But pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. Here's Burrow. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Fielded just inside the 30. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Not an ideal way to end their previous drive. They threw the interception, Charles, after they had built up some momentum. They were moving the football, but something to at least build on for this offense as they run back out here.
Yeah, you're right about that. Up until that last play, everything was working pretty well for this offense, gaining chunks of yardage, getting first downs, really making a push for the end zone, and looked like they had a nice rhythm going. Now you got to have a short memory here. Don't focus on the interception. Focus on what came before it and get back to it.
Here we go, set.
Here's Nwangu. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. And the tackle there by Jermaine Pratt.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
From the 46, here's 2nd and 9. They'll throw with May. Finding Bourne here over the middle. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
To throw, it's May. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Here's May. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
A 2nd and 10 now. 3rd quarter action from Foxborough. A give for Stevenson, running right. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Mims in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Douglas, the man in motion. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Gray. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. To the air, May. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. So that potentially a turning point here this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they're within 7 now at 28-21. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And you wonder, I mean, is it even possible, especially for the quarterback, to mentally reset after that quick of a turnaround?
Well, we're certainly going to find out, aren't we? Because that play will stay in your mind, but somehow you have to compartmentalize, put it aside, pick yourself up, and get moving in the right direction.
They went counter there offensively, and a couple of defenders were on skates for a second.
They certainly were, and you know what offensive linemen love about the counters and the misdirections? Sometimes you don't even have to block the defender. He can run himself out of the play if he doesn't read his keys properly.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Open man is born. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Stevenson now on 1st and 10. Taken down at the 47-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down. We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football. From the 47 now, they'll work with a 2nd and 7. Nwangu. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
From the gun on 3rd down is May. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Douglas. And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
The Patriots send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.